Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you, and I know a lot of folks out there that don't watch TV that stay on YouTube, and we have got Sleeperdude, which has got a YouTube channel, which is a lot of fun. Sleeperdude 88 on Facebook. You can follow him out there. He's not far from us, out in Tennessee, but I wanted to get him on. Josh, how are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Stephen?
Man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I love your channel, and you've actually went full time with this, right? Recently?
Yeah. After 15 years of working in a body shop full time, I finally quit that job and do YouTube full time.
Well, that's kind of exciting, man. I mean, but you've been at this 15 years and got enough subscribers to sustain you. But you got a great channel. Tell us how this came about.
Well, at first, I got started real early after YouTube came out, and it was just mainly at that point. I had an old Ford Maverick. I'm sure you're familiar with them.
Oh yeah.
And I had a Maverick that I had done kind of a weird engine swap on with a little turbo setup, and I would just make videos that were 1 or 2 minutes long of me walking around the car and post the video, no editing or nothing. And that was basically my first, 12, 13 years of YouTube, was not editing anything and just 1 or 2 minute videos. And some of them did okay. We had some videos that got, 100,000 views or something like that. But about a year and a half ago, I started involving my kids in the videos and making the videos longer and showing more of the process of what it took to get there. And that's when the channel really took off. We got my next door neighbor's F-150 truck run that her husband bought brand new, and showed the whole process of me and my son getting it running. And that video, I think now it's got 600,000 or 700,000 views. We've got a few videos that have over 1 million views now. It just really took off over the last year and a half.
Well, that's really good, man. I mean, no doubt. I think one of the things that if y'all have never seen his channel, you need to go to Sleeperdude. You can check it out. But I love the goats, man. You got goats and chickens, and I mean, it's like a farm out there with cars.
Yeah, we have, and that's another thing we never showed early on, was we always had goats and dogs and cats and chickens and everything, but I never really showed them. And I don't know, it's probably been about a year ago I started showing some of the animals we have around here. We have 8 acres, and my wife is the animal person. She has probably 40 or 50 animals around here, with donkeys and cows and chickens and goats and everything. And Rocky's the star of the show. He's a little Nigerian dwarf billy goat that my wife raised. She got him when he was 3 days old, bottle fed him. And he actually lived in our house for the first month of his life. And so now he just comes right in the shop and jumps right on my back or whatever while I'm working. It's kind of crazy.
I don't know. I like goats better than dogs. We used to have goats back in the day, and I ain't kidding you. I think goats are a whole lot cooler than dogs. But anyway, but it's pretty cool. But I mean, you just recently done a trip, which is pretty interesting. Y'all can follow him on that. You got an old motor home and fixed it up and headed out on the road. I mean, and you've documented all that, and you've had some troubles along the way.
Yes, I'm working on editing the actual trip footage right now, but there's a video coming out today of our renovation of this motorhome, and it was $1,250 motorhome that hadn't ran in years, and we did all the stuff to renovate it, get it going, and once the video's released, you'll see. But we're taking it on like a cross country trip and trying to see if we can make it 5,000 miles in this motorhome.
Well, I know one thing, at $5.50 a gallon, that wasn't a cheap video to make, man, especially in a motorhome.
No, it was. It was not at all.
I think it'll be a success. So this is the other Steve, by the way, Josh. You mentioned having your kids on there and how your videos have really kind of catapulted out there as far as viewership. And I think that may be the key, utilizing your whole family. You look at some of the comments on your videos and people are like, wow, it's so amazing seeing your kids there and being involved in something that their dad is doing. They seem enthusiastic about working with you. Is that genuine, or you got to pay them like $5 on the side, or like, how do you get them away from the iPad and out there cleaning the old 50-something truck? How do you do that?
Well, it depends on the video. There's videos that they're more enthusiastic about being involved in than others. But especially my son, he has a real genuine enthusiasm for working on cars with me. It's funny, he didn't really have much interest a couple years ago, and I built a shop at our house, and it's like as soon as I built that shop, he was so interested in going out there and working on something. But it depends on the video. My daughters tend to like doing the cleanup videos more, where you see a big difference in how the vehicle looks. But my son just wants us to build some hot rod and do a burnout.
Yeah,
is what he really likes to do.
I'm with him. Yeah,
Well, I got a special project for that, man. Then I've got a 2004 Ford Exploder, and that sucker's got 230,000 miles on it. I just think it's a really lovely vehicle, and there's a bonus to it. The goats could hop up on it and kind of lick the fungus off of it.
Yeah. Lord,
Oh yeah. Our goat definitely do that. He really likes to eat like moss or anything off a car that's been parked for a while.
This vehicle is just tailor-made for him.
I knew a guy that actually left his tractor out in the field with a bunch of goats, and they eat the hoses, slap off that thing, man. I'm not kidding. Yeah, he did. Them goats just chewed that thing right up.
Horses will do that too. My sister got the whole ring around her windshield eaten off of her car because she left it too close to a horse corral.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Over and chewed the rubber right off of her car.
But what's funny to me though, these like your channel is. I mean, your channel is actually all rednecks that's out there. This is basically live because that's the way when you had to go to work or something, you'd go into a junkyard, you bought a car, you fixed it up, and that's what you drove. And, everybody's eating this kind of stuff up. I mean, it's amazing, that people, and it is interesting, it's interesting. I mean, to see y'all, of course, I'm a car guy, man, from the back in the day, and yeah. But I just think this is great, man. No doubt you've got a good channel, and your kids seem like great kids, and it gets them out and off the iPad,
That's exactly my point. I think that's what fascinates folks is like, look at that. Look at those kids doing something besides staring at a little screen. They're out there doing some old school fun projects with his parents. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you also do drag cars too, isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's what really got the channel started was I've always been into drag racing. My dad got me into it when I was a kid. And he had to sign for me to drag race. He had an 87 Monte Carlo SS, and he had to sign for me to drag race it when I was 15, and he rode in the passenger seat while I'm racing down the track. But yeah, I've always been into drag racing. I'm working on a twin turbo big block Fairmont project. I've got a turbocharged 89 Thunderbird Super Coupe we're working on. So yeah, we're all into the drag racing too.
Well, that's another big reason for viewership. Drag Times. I'm sure you've seen that website or that YouTube channel, Drag Times. Brooks that runs. I actually have met that guy before and done some drag racing with him down there in Palm Beach. But that thing, just like you, has millions of viewers. People are fascinated now. That seems to be something that's really, speaks to this younger generation now is watching these cars drag race. Any kind of thing. They'll take any kind of car, Prius, Corvette, doesn't matter. And they love to
Prius?
know what the drag time. I'm serious.
Me?
I'm dead serious.
You got to plug that thing in first.
They'll take anything. People they love drag racing. They couldn't care less about the track stuff. It's drag racing, and that seems to fascinate folks. And so
I'm all about racing,
see.
man.
Yeah, it's easy to see why you've got such a great following.
Yeah, I got to see that video with you out there in the Prius. I know which one it is.
Yeah.
It's the one where you're screaming like a girl. I remember that.
No.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was actually, it was cool. I actually was down there, like I said, in Palm Beach, in the world's fastest McLaren 12C. We set the world speed record down there with Brooks on drag times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. 10.19 seconds.
That's a long way from a Prius.
In a quarter mile.
Let me ask you something, Josh, to get back on your story. Some of these cars you fix up, here's my problem with me. When I buy a car, I can't turn it loose, man. I'm like, no, I'm keeping that. I mean, do you have that problem, or are you okay with selling? I mean, I've seen some of them you sold. I think you sold your Studebaker and this, that, and the other. But, I mean, there's some of them you're like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, my wife wants to keep everything, so we have about 20 vehicles still.
Right.
But me, if a car doesn't have a purpose, if I'm not using it, I want to sell it. So I would sell a lot more than what she wants to sell. But most of the time, she talks to me to keep us. But it's probably close to half the vehicles. The intention is to sell them, but we've only probably sold maybe a third of them that we've showed on the channel so far.
What's your greatest barn find there, Josh? What's the coolest thing you found? I can't believe we've discovered this and we're going to restore it.
Well, recently we had a 52 Ford F1 pickup truck, and we weren't actually able to buy it, but we talked to the family and they allowed us to bring it here and get it running and driving for them.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who owns it now, his father bought it when it was new, and the guy that owns it now he's probably about 70 years old. He drove it to high school.
Wow.
The truck actually survived a tornado. It was inside of a garage when a tornado hit it. And now the grandfather is going to give it to his grandson. So it's going to be the fourth generation in this family to own this same truck. And it's a great survivor truck. It has basically no rust anywhere in the body. It's got an old inline six with a 3 on the tree. That's a really good one that we found.
That is a cool truck. I actually saw that video. That's the one that has the dents in the roof from the horse, right?
Yeah. They hauled horses in the back now.
Yeah.
Now I probably have a better story than that, but I never made a video on it. We actually traded a shotgun for a Model T, and the guy I got it from, it was over in Manchester, Tennessee.
Right.
And he didn't care about cars, but he loved shotguns. So I traded him the shotgun, and he had never been in the room where this car was. His grandfather gave it to him. And I said, okay, I'll give you this shotgun. Anything in the room that's for this car is mine. So we unload everything out piece by piece. And when we start putting it together, we realize we have a complete Model T.
Wow, that's cool.
That is
And
awesome.
I ended up putting it together, but this was back it's probably been 10 years ago. And at the time I didn't have internet access, and I never made any videos of it.
Well, now you're from, you live pretty much where you was raised. You're from Tennessee?
Yeah, I grew up in Middle Tennessee towards Cookeville area.
Right.
And now I live more towards East Tennessee near Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yeah. So you're not far from us. We're over here in Hiawassee and Murphy, Andrews, that area. If you're
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, listen, we got to get to a break, man. We got to turn you loose. Tell everybody your contact information where they can follow all this stuff and check out the goats and the cars and all that, because we got a lot of car guys out there. I ain't no doubt. So give us some contact information.
Yeah, you can check us out on YouTube at Sleeperdude, and you can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Sleeperdude88.
One more question before we go.
Yeah.
Where did Sleeperdude come from?
My Maverick was a sleeper car. It turned into a big block turbo Maverick, and it had a completely stock flat hood, completely stock exterior and interior, completely stock wheels, everything. So it was a sleeper car, and that's where it came from.
Sleeper cars are the best. No doubt, man. Sleeper cars are the best. Josh, I appreciate you, man, getting up and talking to us. And like I said,
No problem.
We'll be following you and checking out all this stuff you got going on, and get you back on here maybe in another couple of days or so and see what else is happening.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, you take care, man.
All right, see you.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.